consider subscribing. Everything we talk about is time sensitive. Now, if you want to stick around, I'll answer all your questions to the best of my abilities, and we'll go over that ordinals thing, and that's it. But if you got to take off, take off. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you. See you on the next one. All right. What the heck is going on here? Fubar. That's a good question. Hey, Rob, do you think that FTX will restart as an exchange? If so, the FTT token will appreciate in value. Yeah, it will. Let me put this up. I think yes, because people are greedy. And I believe that even Chair Gary Gensler said that he would allow this to happen as long as there were certain disclaimers and legal processes in place. I think it's quite ridiculous that they're going to do that. I don't know who would actually get into it, but there's always the degenerates who will go for there. Me personally, I don't care if FTX comes out and says, hey, we're going to do something, and it's under new management, so don't worry. Just the name alone, I'm good. It'd be like if Celsius came back and said, hey, you can trust us now because we've got a whole new management. Nope, I'm not touching you, whatever. Voyager, same thing. So, I mean, it could come back, and I probably will, and people will probably trade it because they're degenerates, and nothing wrong with that. That's just how it is. And then Dr. Benny Boom says, I don't think you understand how far Ronan is. Ronan's very far ahead. That's true. I was talking to Kagi, and he was talking about just how great it was, and he said, on his Twitter account, he goes, I just got done talking to the head of development or whoever he was talking to, and he said, and it's going to be awesome. I can't talk about it, but you got to trust me, bro. And I'm like, Kagi, every time I hear trust me, bro, I have flashbacks, but probably do well. Here's a little secret. Everything that most of you guys invest into right now, it's probably going to do really good because we're in that Goldiloks stage, when we're right before this massive bull run, which it could happen in 2024, it could be in 2025. No one really knows, but you probably do pretty well no matter, you could blindfold yourself and do awesome. That's just pretty much how it is. Now, the question is, when will it collapse? That's the question. Panda Pie says, oh, this is from the graphics. If we compare Marvel movies and gamings regarding the amount of CGI, I prefer video games. I have to agree. Movies have been sucking lately. Digital Bobby says, okay, Boomer, that would be, I'll take it. Bullish on AVAX, mega corporation blockchain. Yeah, true. Yeah, that partnership with JP Morgan, not the best. I mean, the Epstein Bank, what are you going to do? Crypto Health is Chainlink. Yes, Chainlink's in my portfolio. Fubar says, please make a video about making ordinals. I will definitely do that. Panda Pie says, that's a great idea. When we do that video for the ordinals and how to inscribe and put JPEGs on, I'm going to show it with the Alex Mashinsky t-shirt that I wore, the I Heart Mashinsky. That'd be a good one. Nicole says, hey, Rob, what's your thoughts on BitTensor? Is it really the Bitcoin of AI? I don't know anything about it. And again, like if I don't own it, I don't really do research on it or talk about it, but I'll take a look. Again, if you own it, it's probably going to do great. If I was going to buy one gaming token, what would be the best bet? I do like Avalanche. I own some Rodin. Rodin looks pretty good. I actually own some Shrapnel, I believe, and a token called Big Time. Again, I get a little bit degen out there. But again, when you're doing like degenerate plays, just remember the core thesis of your investment strategy. If your investment thesis is, I want to go 99% degenerate, you can do that, but just know it's a boatload of risk, and that's on you. That's fine. But if you don't, you're like, you know what, I can, I do a little gambling. I'll do a little weekend Vegas trip and put it all on, XYZ number 1,000 bonk coin. Sure. Nothing wrong with that. Panda Pie says, it's fascinating to see how AVAX came back with the game. Very cool. Gaming narrative is going to be great. And I'm going to tell you why. I mean, we all know that whole thing about, there's actual real utility in that sector, because even if we have a collapse, people are still going to play the games. Look, in 2020, when we had the cerveza sickness, what did well? Well, Amazon did great. Netflix did fantastic. Zoom did great as far as their stock price, and gaming just crushed it. So it doesn't matter what's happening. People are still going to play those games. And then I also know this. 2 years ago, Web 2 traditional gamers despised us. NFTs and tokens, they thought it was a big cash grab, and they were actually right. I hate to say it. But as time has gone on, the gaming has increased exponentially in the amount of, the AAA rated gaming studios that are coming on, the people that are building, the people actually behind it. Also, I know one more thing. That is that this is just hearsay, these esports teams are losing money. And it's very tough when some of these consoles are not really, and of course, the big ones are going to be fine, right? But the esports companies are like, how can we generate a little revenue? Guess what they're going to start to do? They're going to start to play Web3 games. And guess what they're going to do with that? They're going to monetize their community. And what does that mean? It means they're not going to be hurting so much for fun. So I personally see it as Web3 will have its time in the next bull run. But I could be wrong. Mateo says, no theta in the profile. No. You have to understand, in this profile, see that thing that says other 67 plus cryptos right there? That's where theta is. I just put the ones that make up the most as far as the value, and that's what it is. So remember, in the last cycle, I sold out a bunch of theta. But yeah, there's a lot of different ones. If you want to see which ones those are, I did a video, and I talked about all the different cryptos, and I was over 70. Now I'm over 80. So yeah. Good history lesson in Web 2. There's higher odds of making money playing baccarat. It could be true. Although I will say, if you're looking at percentages, if you take a 4-year outlook, I would crush baccarat, especially Bitcoin. Over 4 years, you would probably beat baccarat. Now, if you're looking at a 6-month to 2-month time frame, yeah, not so great. Dubsky says, why did you end your AVAX validator, Rob? I just didn't get much traction with it. There was better people doing it, so I just decided to step away. That's usually how it works. Still have the Cardano stake pool if everybody's interested in that. Links in the description. I did a video and shows you how to do it. The Glenimal says, who bought the Soul Dip? Snag 200. Yeah, I have these DCAs that just go off every day, every 2 days, every week, and Solana is one of those. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano's in there, Celestia, which is making a comeback, and all the things you guys just saw. Pretty much the one thing that I always look at is I'm always thinking to myself, I think I'm underexposed to where I should be. Even though I've been buying since 2022, same thing. I'm a threat. Yeah, me too. Ooh, great question. Any ledger with Coin Ledger and Voyager tax loss? Congratulations. Friday, I'm going to have the founder of Coin Ledger on the show, as a matter of fact, and I'll ask him that specific question. As I understand it, the integration or API is set with Voyager, and you're going to be able to use those as losses. Now, I will ask the people at Coin Ledger just to verify that, but the last time we talked, that's what they said. So I'll make sure to ask that question. You going to pick up some Jupe in a few days? Yeah. Is there another airdrop going? I've been using it for a while. Duran says, Rob, when things really heat up, will you set sell orders during each night while you sleep in case the market does something crazy? How did you manage to sleep in the height of the last bull run? It's a great question. So for me to actually set up sell orders, there's actually really 2 ways to do this. First of all, you have to have them on centralized exchanges. And what's the rules? The rules are you're not supposed to leave crypto on centralized exchanges. I don't trust them, especially after Voyager and Celsius. So if you want to do that to take some profits, sure, go right ahead. I'm just not going to leave my entire stash in there just so I can catch a wick. I don't care. If you've been in here like I have, I know you have, Duran, because I see you all the time, and everybody else. I don't think it's going to make a big difference if we're up 10x as opposed to maybe we get a 9.75x or something like that, because when we wake up, we're like, oh, time to sell. So I'm not going to do it like that. However, there is something different in this cycle. Remember how we say don't put things on centralized exchanges? You know that you can put things in a hot wallet. And I'm not going to tell you to do this. I probably won't do this myself. But I'm saying it's possible. You can put it in a hot wallet. Like, let's say you have a wallet like a Titus wallet or Phantom wallet. And you can connect that to Jupiter. And you can have your buy and sell orders already placed on that decentralized exchange, which means you'd have to put those cryptos in that hot wallet and hope it doesn't get destroyed or hacked during the night or the weeks leading up to that event. It's up to you. And again, not a financial advisor. Me personally, what I'll probably do is I'll wake up and I'll look at them, and I'll go through the list. Well, what is the MVRVZ score? What is the RSI? What is the feed and greed index? Where are we on as far as the altcoin? What is that called? Adoption metrics, sell metrics. Oh, no, pull multiple, and the end the cycle master. Oh, there's one more. Time and risk bands. I always forget that one. I have to take a look at those and say, well, do those hit my price points, or do those hit my indicator levels where I think I should sell? If it is, then I sell. If not, I'm okay. If I miss a wick, I think I'll be all right. Ed says Sunday Swap has limit sells if you're only on Cardano. Sunday Swap doing good things. Dubsky says, can you ask the CoinLedger guy if you can claim a wallet that got drained or scammed? I can ask them. But there's a limit every year of how much you can do. I want to say it's $3,000. Sorry. But that's a question that we'll do. And I'll actually put the answers to those most common questions at Dan Teaches Crypto, the website. But yeah, I know there's a limit for 100% in America. Germany, France, Spain, Australia, I'm not for sure. But I'll ask them. They've got a pretty good one. It says, you are my sell indicator. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to predict it. I'm going to sell too early, and everybody's going to call me a boomer and a paper hands and weak, and that's it. And I'm like, well, that's fine, but I just bought a yacht, so here we go. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, I'm going to sell too early. I can guarantee that. That's a good question. John says, when arthritic knee started to twitch, he'll tell me so. It's every day. Will iTrust offer non-pension asset holdings for taking profits? I'll have to ask them that question. But again, it depends on what kind of IRA you actually have. You have traditional, you have a Roth, or how'd you set that up? Because there's different tax criteria for each way to do that. Weak boomer paper ants for the win. Comments on Root Token, probably do great, and has a real use case. Looks to be pretty good. Maybe I should get into it. Rob, what's your opinion? Invest in Matic or Polygon? Let's see the difference. Well, Polygon, not that they rebranded, but it went from Matic, which is Polygon, to Pol, P-O-L. And as far as I know, correct me in the comments, you don't have to make that transition right now unless you were doing some kind of really wacky staking. But it's only mostly for people on the exchanges. But don't quote me on that one. From what I've looked for it so far, you don't have to do anything if you have just Matic as far as like POL to Polygon. Ben's haircut. It's pretty accurate. Better too early than too late. Exactly. Rob will be my hold for 2 more months indicator. It's probably a good idea. You have to understand though, like when you historically, when you sell your Bitcoin, usually the Bitcoin ramps up and then it hits its peak and then it starts to decline, and then the alts run one more time. And it's just like what Scott says, it's like around a 2-month time frame. Now, is that going to happen again? Not for sure. We'll see what the indicators say, but that's usually how it happens. Please take a look at BitTensor. Helps so many people make money. Tau can make life-changing money for sure. Yeah, probably. I'll take a look. It's probably great. What percentage of Bitcoin do you plan on selling? Are you going to wait until the sell-off, then put that back into Bitcoin? This is a great question. And I've been debating about this for quite some time. I personally believe that we're on an unsustainable path for fiat in America for the dollar. Even though it's the world reserve currency, I see a lot of cracks and a lot of issues, especially with the massive amount of debt that is being held by Japan and China, which is crazy to think that Japan is over $1 trillion in our debt and China is lagging at 913, but whatever. I just don't see that as sustainable. And I see how Bitcoin can actually do good things. And of course, if the dollar collapses, I'm not saying it is, but I just see how there's only one way out of this, and that is for the quantitative easing to start printing money. And once that happens, the assets, the price of those assets start to go up, just like we saw in 2020, 2021. So for me, I don't think that selling 80% is a good idea. 80% of altcoins, yeah, no problems. No problems whatsoever. But for Bitcoin, it's going to be still at least 50%, because you have to understand, the idea is to accumulate as much Bitcoin as you possibly can, right? If that's the truth, then you can be like Michael Saylor and hold on forever. But that's great if you have a multi-billion-dollar company and essentially you are a proxy for people who want to get into Bitcoin. However, if you look at it and say, well, I still believe in the 4-year cycles and the technology and the adoption, it's hard for, and of course the price action, it can't catch up. Everything gets overheated, just like we took a look at. Everybody says this is going to be the greatest thing of all time. Bitcoin's going to 1 million next month. Just check it out. And then it just takes a couple of whales to start selling and everything collapses. It's like a house of cards. There's nothing wrong with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still great. There's no double spend. You know, Vladimir Putin didn't come out and say, hey, I created it and I can prove it. It's still Bitcoin, but it'll get overheated. And at that point, I have to take profits because that is my plan. And then when it collapses, which inevitably it always does, then I will buy it back up. So when you're in the asset accumulation game, once you're in, you're not getting out. And that's it for today. So look, everybody, thanks so much for taking the time. I appreciate it. Like today's video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing. That will do it for this one. And I will see everybody on tomorrow's stream. So thanks, everybody. See you. Adios.